Hello, and welcome back to another video on math and science problems. Today, we will be working on chemistry conversions. Now, in our previous video, we worked a little bit on understanding the empirical and molecular formulas in chemistry. However, now we're going to work with conversions. Now, conversions is a really big thing in math, whether that's through understanding how do I convert 4 cups to tablespoons in cooking, whether that's understanding how many ounces of juice am I drinking per day and finding a balance between that with water. There are so many different ways of understanding and using conversions in our day-to-day lives. However, in chemistry, that is where it is usually found and is the most important. So let's get started. So, when it comes to conversions in chemistry, one of the most important things to understand is units. Now, when it comes to units, we must understand the units that we're dividing by and that we're using. So, a big unit that's commonly used in chemistry are moles. Now, moles are essentially how we measure most things in chemistry. Now, if we wanted to figure out how many moles is the standard unit that we typically use, essentially, this can be understood by using 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. Now, this specific expression is used when we want to find how many atoms are in something. Now, typically, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms is equivalent to 1 mole. Now, it's important to understand this concept right here because whenever we want to figure out how many moles are in a specific molecule or a combination of different things, we typically use this to figure out how many atoms something is, how many moles something is, and that's truly expressed in the visual representation of different molecules, such as H2O and different things like that. So this is an important expression that we must know. Now, if we wanted to use this in a specific problem, we will do so by doing this. So say I had xenon. Xenon is a noble gas, and noble gases are actually my favorite class of elements on the periodic table. Fun fact. So say we have xenon. Okay. Now say that xenon is in a balloon to blow it up of a specific value. Now, let's say the volume of that specific balloon is 6.75 liters. Let's give it that number. 6.75 liters. Cool. And the question is, how many atoms are in this balloon? Now, initially, this may strike as, well, how do we figure this out? Well, first we just have to do a little bit of conversions. So if you wanted to figure out how many moles is in the liter, simply we would just have to put that into a conversion calculator. So we would just do and find that 1 mole is equivalent to 22.4 liters. and this is valuable information. Now that we know this, we would have to multiply this. We'll have to multiply this by 6.75 liters over 1. Now, in conversions, it's highly important that when we multiply, that the unit that we want to solve for, or the unit that we're trying to isolate in order to continue on in our process, is left alone and the other units cancel out. So I set up my equation specifically to a point where the liters will cancel out in this equation. As we know of cross multiplying or cross canceling, the liters cancel across and the moles will cancel across. So since the moles cancel across, the moles will stay, which is what we're trying to solve for. So when we do this, since we know that the liters will cancel out, we have 6.75 times 1, or 6.75 moles, all over 1 times 22.4, and anything times 1 is just itself, so we just have 22.4. Now, if we just do 6.75 divided by 22.4, we get approximately 0.3, 0.301 moles. Now, this is highly important. So, to trace back our steps, we were given that a balloon was filled up with xenon, and that the balloon's volume was 6.75 liters. We want to figure out how many atoms. Atoms is the important number. Now, if we refer back to our equation, or our expression that we had at the beginning of this video, we know that 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms is equivalent to 1 mole. Cool. Now, when we did our math, we did 1 mole is equal to 22.4 liters by doing further research. We multiplied that by 6.75 liters, so the units cancel out over 1. We're left with 6.75 moles divided by 22.4, and that's approximately 0.301 moles. Now, after we finish this, we are left with moles. And after we're left with moles, we just have to add this specific part that we're dealing with. Just change this to red. There's 0.301 moles. Now we're going to multiply it to this equation. So I am going to scoot down. So when we have 0.301 moles, make sure we're always running our units so our work is clean and understandable. Moles times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. I'm just going to shorten that to ATM. And it's not atmosphere. And divide that by 1 mole. We have a similar equation just like our liters. So as we know, the moles will cancel out, is what we want. And then 1 times 1 is 1, and anything divided by 1 is just itself. So essentially, we're just doing 0.301 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atom. And when we do that, and we multiply, we would roughly get 1.81 times 10 to the 23rd. Now, something interesting to note on how I did that math is that we did 0.301 times 6.02. Now, Since if we were to refer to significant figures, this would be 1.812, or actually it would be 1.81 because it is significant figures. The reason how I did this is you just simply do 6.02 times 0.301 and you get 1.81. And this scientific notation, 10 to the 23rd, is left alone due to nothing exceeding so many zeros, so it can just be left how it is. Since the 0 2 limits our answer to 1.81, it's perfectly fine. And when we do anything in scientific notation, our a, or the formula for it, is a times 10 to the n, where n is any exponent number, and a is any number that is greater than 1 and less than 10. So, since this number is in between that range, this answer is perfectly fine. So this would be our answer. So, when it comes to solving equations and conversions, it's important to understand what we're dealing with. So in chemistry conversions, moles and atoms are two really big components that are highly used and are used a lot. So when we're converting from moles to atoms or atoms to moles, this is the formula that we use. And the example that we used for today's lesson is that we understood that the problem, what it was asking for, we converted that thoroughly, obtained our mole, and after we obtained our mole, we divided and canceled out the factors, and we found our answer, which is 1.81 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of xenon are in the balloon of a volume of 6.75 liters, assuming that the full balloon was pumped full of xenon. So, when it comes to conversions, this is essentially how most of them will run. There will be a specific unit that you have to cancel out and how you're supposed to measure them, and you do that accordingly. And you keep going until you find the answer in the unit that you want to solve for. For us in this problem, it was atoms, and we found it in atoms. Let's make sure we add that. Always make sure you write your units. Atoms, yes. So that is chemistry conversions. And there are so many different more conversions when it comes to chemistry, but this is just a prime example of the more common conversion factors that are used. And a common example that you will most likely see when it comes to understanding the volume and the different components and elements that can be in certain things, whether that's liquid, whether that's gas, or maybe even solid. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video on math and science problems of chemistry conversions. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and share the video with others to see how the implementation of different STEM concepts can be used in so many different ways, and that can help better our understanding of the things around us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day, night, or evening. Take care.